everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently watched Parasito Eve, which should be considered the precursor to the Parasite Eve film. Not Parasite Eve film, but the Parasite Eve game franchise. And I only played, well, yeah, I did play Parasite Eve 2. I got through the first one. First one was my favorite. And still to this day, I find it extremely disturbing and very creepy, but I thought the movie was absolutely brilliant. And even though to the Western viewer it might seem a little bit deliberate, it's really not. It's a very subtle way of doing a suspense slash horror film in such a way that it starts to really toy with your mind. And this is why I like psychological horror films more than I like slashers. And Parasite Eve does this in such a lovely way, and it's it's very disturbing in the essence of it all. And it was very intriguing because back at that time I was almost obsessed with learning as much as I could about mitochondria. The closest thing that I came to it is something called Pfiesteria, and Pfiesteria in itself is a very unusual organism. It is a plant life that is a cousin of red tide, and it can kill you. Yeah, talk about disturbing. I mean, the things that I read were cringeworthy, and yeah, it's the it's fuel for the nightmare bus to go straight into Helltown. And I was the only person that was so taken. I don't know why I was so intrigued by that or for what purpose, but to this day, every time I hear about red tide, I think, I wonder when they're gonna learn more about Pfiesteria. And yeah, I'm the only person I think, why didn't I go into that kind of line of work and risk my life to die at the hand of Pfiesteria? Well, no, I'm not going to do that because that would just be stupid. But yeah, I have more, my goal in life is to make the world a better place. My ideal is to help people become self-sufficient when I get enough money. And I want to be like Shivaji, if you've ever seen the film. He basically turned the black money around, made it better, and made the economy soar. But anyway, going into other topics that had nothing to do with Parasite Eve. I love the movie. It's very unsettling. It's eerie. It has that whole kind of feeling that you know that something bad's going to happen, and it plays with your emotions, and it's it's very interesting. But we do all have parasites in our body that help us survive. Like in our gut, we have good bacteria and bad bacteria, and you've got people in the world who are germaphobes. I think you have to have that in order to live, just like you have to have detrivores, because if you didn't have detrivores, our world would be just completely ridden with corpses that, I mean, I don't even want to think about that. The whole idea just puts a very nasty image in my mind. And I had that thought recently with the fair having been here. I have got all these flies, and they're thick. I'm not sure how they're getting in, but I had a fly strip, and it was just coated with gnats and flies, and I thought, oh, how lovely. Yeah, here's the welcome mat. Look, I got a fly strip up. But it's actually a very well done film for 97, and it had some lags, but other than that, it was utterly fascinating. And as far as horror films go, I would give it 3 out of 5, because it's not perfect. The only thing that is lacking would just be pacing, because it's a little bit slow. But for me, I love Japanese horror films. I always have. They're my favorite. And this ranks up there, but still my ultimate is The Grudge, because The Grudge is scary as heck. And of course the second would be Ring. Ringu. I really enjoy Ringu, and I haven't seen the remake. It's called Rings, but at some point in time, I really do, because it's one of my favorite things, and to this day, it's unsettling to me. It's very whew, frightening, and the whole idea. Portals, I don't know, just that the other dimensions, and you just think the possibilities, probabilities out there leave a lot of room for speculation, because we don't really know. And you would hurt yourself trying to think about that, but this is another one of those movies that makes you think, and I really enjoyed it. I also liked the background music. It was really quite beautiful and terrifying and suitable for the mood of the film and where it was going. And I'm not going to talk about the actual plot, because if I do, it'll give it away. But it's not your typical horror film. There's not really any said jump scares. It's just more of a very gradual reveal to what is so petrifying, and that's what makes this so good. That's why I said that. I didn't know I don't really follow Asian actors and actresses that much, so I don't really know anybody. I did used to do a Seiyu following. I mean, I still do. I did the American version rather than the Japanese version. I do know a lot of the Seiyu are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm such an otaku. But I didn't really, nobody sounded familiar, nobody looked familiar. I just knew that they were all very, very good at what they did. And like I said, it's a very intriguing and unsettling topic of discussion, and it kind of makes you wonder. It's just a whole what if scenario about mitochondria in and of itself. Yeah, I remember I remember playing the game, and I remember having this crush on Medea, and I thought, Medea-kun, why do I have a crush on you? It's because you wear glasses. Men with glasses. Oh, be still my heart. I don't know what it is. My Megane fetish. It's never gonna go away. I mean, it began with Megane with yeah. Urusei Yatsura, and I watched it, and I thought, who is this dreamboat? Why isn't he real? Oh, why can't he come into my life? And then, of course, later on, I had this massive crush on Zenjiro. Zenjiro's still very hot. I'm thinking, whoo, hello. If I were to go to Japan, I mean, he's probably much younger than I am. I'd probably be robbing the cradle. But if I were to go over, it's like, Gaijin, get her away. But I'd be like, can I at least just come up and touch? just let me touch. Let me touch. Like, no. Okay. Don't send security to lock me up and throw away the key, because granted, you know I'm going to come back and find you when you least suspect it, and then get off you. And you'll never know. But, no, I would never do that. But, yeah, I had, and I think I still do. I saw the updated version of Medea-kun, even though he is kind of ecchi, a little bit of a hentai. Oh, Medea. If only you were real. What would I do with myself? It'd probably be too awkward to talk to me, but you look good. Dang. But anyways, they need to remake this for new agers. I would totally play it. I would definitely, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I would get PS4 just to play a stupid thing, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything. E3 didn't talk about what anything I saw. I didn't really mention. We only remake that we've seen is Final Fantasy VII. I thought, well, if they're doing that, that was my childhood. That was actually my high school / college years that I really became obsessed. Well, I've always been obsessed with Final Fantasy, starting with Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy III, as it was known over here, as my favorite, the best of the franchise. No offense. But beyond that, I can't really say that much more about the structure of the film, and CGI wise, it doesn't really rely much on that, although it's there. It's actually very well done. It doesn't rely upon it. It's more based on ethics and the whole idea of that and what a parasite really is. And you think, ooh. Yeah, I remember I wrote fan fictions about it, and they were some of my best work, actually. I was horrified at the things that I was writing. I thought, whoa. I remember Dad used to tell me, he said, you could be the next Edgar Allan. I said, really? You mean that, or are you just flattering me? He said, no, this is absolutely terrifying. I thought, thank you. But horror really isn't my says genre. My real genres are sci-fi, action, adventure, and comedy. I do, and fantasy. Those four I do exceedingly well in, and I'm going to do something that I've never done. This is a bit of an update. My update is that I want to write it kind of reminds me of Ready Player One, which I'm not sure when it'll be out, but it's similar to that. It's sort of like Huntik and Weezos and Yu-Gi-Oh! Combined with the fact of this kind of underground syndicate that's accessible by only the 1%. There are people that are paying huge amounts of moolah just to get involved with this highly addictive game, not really knowing or understanding why it is that way, but they have in their employ a necromancer who has enchanted it to be as such. And of course, I'm going to have a little bit of a twist with that. I'm thinking that he's going to be the one that eventually grows tired of pandering to the mortal's wishes. I mean, he's been alive for ages and not really found a use for his abilities until Oval hires him. Of course, Oval doesn't sound sinister, but it really is. They're the underground syndicate. They're the 1%. They're the other half. But it's a very multi-layered, ambitious project that I wish to undertake. I'm going to have help doing it. But it's basically a virtual reality card game, and people can customize it however they see fit. Like if they want a steampunk world that features characters from Adam Sandler films, why not knock yourself out? That would be cool, though, actually. Well, maybe only for me. Like, Mr. Snyder! Adam! But, this is how my mind works. I'm just completely overrun by hormones. But I see a cute guy, I want to huggle him. And do more than that, too. But, anyways, it was a great film. I still give it 2 thumbs. I really liked it. I thought it was absolutely terrific. Just outstanding movie. I'm glad I finally got a chance to see it. I thought, it's 97. It's been too long to actually see this movie, but YouTube had it. I thought, good, I don't have to pay for it, so I watched it and I loved it. But like I said, only 3 out of 5. I don't think it was a perfect horror film. I still think that the perfect Japanese horror film to this day is The Grudge. Like I said, The Grudge it'll trump any psychological horror film just because it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with the Grudge series. It's absolutely terrifying. But that's about all I gotta say. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.